Yo, what is up guys? It is me, James here, back with another video, and today we're here with Operation Deep Healing, man. So the update dropped last night. I went to bed because, well, I had school tomorrow and I wasn't able to play the update, but it is now fully out, and it got some huge reworks and changes within Deepwoken. So I'm gonna go over this. This is part 1 of Operation Deep Healing. We'll be seeing part 2 next Friday. No, next Friday. So somewhere around the 30th, I don't know. But let's get straight into it, man. So starting off, we have Pathfinder Progression Enhanced. We have added a journal button to your view called Talent Deck in Pathfinder. Your deck represents all the talents you are currently able to receive in the talent's hand, eliminating the requirement of having to use a third-party tool to actually figure out what talents will show up in your card hand. Now, this is a huge quality of life update for Deepwoken, meaning you will no longer have to use the wiki to see what talents you are able to get, which is just beautiful. I love this change. This is a really good change. Ragusa, thank you. Moving on, we had added favor option to cards in your talent deck. Favored cards are more likely to appear in your hands. In doing so is completely free, so it's like a free mystic that will sometimes work. Then we have added foretell options to cards in your talent deck. At the cost of 1 H, cards can be foretold. Unlike mystics, there is no limit to how many cards you can have predestined. Your talent hands are guaranteed to contain one of your predestined cards so long as their requirements are met, meaning that you can pretty much have the mystic, favor, and foretold all stacked on 3 times, and you could have more with foretold, so you could have like in total like 4 or 5 cards predestined to come to you, making progression a hell of a lot easier, which is just beautiful. Next, we have you can now burn the cards directly from your talent deck, meaning so it's easier to burn cards. Now, this is a huge one. Trial 1 rework. Trial 1 now gives Mark of the Lone Warrior. It is returned since verse 1. If you have the origin, now grants 2 levels instead of 7. Mark of the Lone Warrior now drastically boosts your progression speed when progging alone. It also gives buffs in your fights if you're a solo player. Now, this already, I can see multiple players doing some crazy things. If you get, like, for example, you go Trial 1 Origin, so you do more damage when you fight more players, right? You take Maverick, and against all odds, you'll be doing hella easy progression, and you can boss rid, which is just beautiful. Next, we have anytime you kill a boss for the first time, you now gain 50 to 20 full attribute points, meaning that you have a guaranteed power-up no matter what boss you fight. So already, I see people speed progging this shit. Like, if I'm power 17, I can go fight Ferryman, Primadon, Chaser, and then Etheron, and I'll be max power just by those 4 bosses, which is low-key insane to me. Moving on, we have Deep Crucible event now gives 60 full training, which is 4 powers, by the way. If you didn't know, that's 4 levels completely free if you just do the Deep Crucible event for the first time. Then we have Hell Mode gives 60 full investment, so I can already see Deep Bound players doing Hell Mode for insane prog. Then we have Stratus Quest now gives full 10 training. Authority missions now give 3 to 5. Turning 5 pure ores gives at the quest now gives 5 full training on completion. The burial quest now gives 5. KJ's quest now gives 5. And just all of these give talents and just 5 to 3 full training things, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna list off because there's a lot of event or quests that they did for this. Next we have Scope Summer Crates turning now give 3 full training. Unbounding Weapon through Maestro now gives 2. And Voidwalkers get 1 full training per bounty they take. Now, this is really good, in my opinion. This is an easy way to basically making progression a lot faster and less tedious, and I'm very glad that they're doing this. Next, we have reducing the PvE/PvP gap. New Blood Rain mechanic. Hemorrhaging. Drain enough blood from enough enemies in PvE to cause hemorrhage effect, dealing 15% of your enemy's health and going on a short cooldown. This does, however, cause some of your opponent to lose some of their blood poison. Now, this is really good. I can already imagine people adding Blood Rain into their PvE builds because 15% of your enemy's health, like, that's already a lot, considering, like, if you're fighting Chaser or Etheron, those are stage bosses where you can get a lot of hits in and proc that talent. That will be really good. Now, moving on, we have Blood Rain poison effects and talents now work in PvE. It does not decrease naturally against PvE, and instead decreases when you cause the hemorrhage effect. Then we have new PvE effects for all these talents listed. I'm not going to go over them, and I don't really know the PvE effects, but that's a lot. Then we have new weapon talents, Canor Fang, Champion's Dagger, Morningstar, Ritual Spear, Apprentice Spear, Halberd slash Alloyed Halberd, Inquisitor's Thorn, and Legion Cestus now have their own respective talents. Now, this is a really cool one. Now we have map revamps. Now, Layer 1 or the Depths has gotten a glow up. I've seen some sneaks of this. This is really cool. They have like a new biome called the Forest of Lights, where it's like a bunch of glowing trees. This reminds me of some places like in Subnautica, which is really cool. Then we have a new shrine has been constructed in Songseeker. Monkey's Paw has been reverted to the old one, which means it no longer has like the Layer 2 smooth designs. And then we have remaining stragglers of the old tree models have been replaced with new performative mesh trees, meaning more performance for Deepwoken. Then we have the contest systems. We can now create crews that function like the Authority Squad system, meaning that they're getting ready for the world event reworks where we can pair up with crews, which is going to be cool. There's a new communication gesture that allowed for my bad all instead of having to type it out. Talents and some cards have received visual touch-ups. And some other stuff. South America servers now have region queues in time of conflict. Moving on, we got some talents that have been merged and removed. Fishman has been removed and has now been merged with Scuba Drowner. And then we have a heap ton of balancing. The only ones I really want to point out though are Against All Odds buff is now doubled, which means it's 14%. Crystal Young Show got reverted, so it's no longer doing 25% on M1s like when it procs. And then slowed Ardor Slicer movement significantly, which is really good to see. Then we have a heap ton of bug fixes. The only ones I really want to go over though are the Railblade aerial crit and the Shadow Hero Blade crit not having any mobility. That has been fixed, thank the Lord. I'm very glad that they fixed this because bro, those crits were so ass and like no one would use these weapons, but now that the mobility is back, I have a feeling that people are actually going to be running it. But apart from that, that is it for the first part of Operation Deep Healing. I'm really excited to see what they have in store for part 2, you know, in the second Friday. So yeah, apart from that, that's all. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later, man. Bye.